Okay, it's the start of another year. 2025 is about to kick off, and we are ready for the Happy Families podcast. Brand new year, Kylie. I just said 2025. We're keeping it in because this is what happens at the start of the year. It messes with your head. You didn't pick that up, did you? You were just going with it.
I was just going with it.
Oh my goodness. I hope that's not an omen. I hope it's not a sign of what's to come. In 2025, at the start of the year, I made a whole lot of predictions. I made 8 predictions about things that I thought would change in the world of parenting or school or tech and the stuff that applies to us as parents.
How do you think you went?
I know how I went because I've done the prep for today's podcast because we're going to review my 2025 predictions and look at what went right and what went wrong. I got a couple wrong. So we'll talk about those first and then we'll kick off with the stuff that got right.
Well, you are just only human, you know.
I am. But I also I've cut back. Instead of doing 8 predictions, I've got 4 predictions for 2026.
Good work.
Predictions for what's going to happen when it comes to the social media ban, when it comes to AI chatbots, when it comes to our children and parenting, all that stuff, right after this. Stay with us. I'm so excited for a brand new year. I'm so excited. My favorite, I think this is literally my favorite episode of the year.
You know, you say that like
no,
all
like
the time.
I know I get excited about Doctor's Desk episodes and that sort of thing, but predictions, like I'm thinking about the predictions that I made at the start of the year, all through the year. And then I'm also thinking about the predictions that I'm going to make at the start of the year for the next year. I've been thinking about today's podcast literally since last year when we recorded last year's podcast on the same topic. Which makes me...
You're weird.
Thank you. A little weird. All right. So welcome back. For those of you who are brand new to the podcast and you have somehow just discovered us on day one, my name's Dr. Justin Coulson. I'm the parenting expert and co-host of Channel 9's hit TV show, Parental Guidance. Don't know if we've got another season coming up yet. Can't say anything about it because nobody's talked to me about it, but I've got my fingers crossed. Also the author of a bunch of books and Mrs. Happy Families, Kylie, beside me.
I have not written a book.
No, but you've read a lot and you've reared our 6 daughters, mum to our 6 kids, podcast co-host extraordinaire. Kylie, you want to talk about my predictions and specifically you want to talk about what I got wrong first.
I think it's only fair.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So there's a little bit of a side prediction you made about TikTok's survival.
Yes. Okay. So this time last year, I said that TikTok was not going to survive, certainly not in its current state, because the US government had concerns that ByteDance, which is a Chinese company, technically it's run out of China, but the CCP is behind a lot of what's going on, and there's the information gathering and so on. I just thought with the US government and the Biden administration passing the law and Congress being 100% across this, that TikTok was going to be dismantled and demolished or restructured. As it happens, Donald Trump has been in office for the last year and he's pretty much just ignored the law and he's allowed TikTok to keep on going. And there are some stories about some rich friends of his who might do very well as TikTok sort of progresses and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, I was totally wrong because Donald Trump is unpredictable and the TikTok thing didn't happen. Got it wrong. TikTok still exists. Everyone's still on it. There's my first mistake.
Dun dun. All right, next one. Intergenerational living and staycations.
So because of the cost of living crisis, because of the increase in interest rates, because everyone's going, oh my goodness, life is expensive and we can't afford to do anything anymore, for goodness sakes, like apples. Have you seen how much apples cost?
It's actually really blown my mind.
I went into our regular, like just a fruit shop. It's like a discount fruit shop down the road the other day. They had our favourite, what are they, pink lady apples? $7.99 a kilo for apples. And they were like massive. They were the size of like my fist double. They were enormous. I was like, no, that's a meal for 3 people. But nobody wants to eat an $8 apple. Do you know what I mean? Like it was a kilo of apple. So anyway, I predict that there would be more families saying, hey, let's all move in together with the grandparents or whatever. And I also predicted that we would be traveling overseas less as a nation because it costs a lot to live. I couldn't find any strong data at all to specifically confirm a major surge in multi-generational living. I mean, I looked for it. I really tried to find out that I was right, but I couldn't find the data for it, and I'm probably wrong. But I did find...
Well, everybody I know hates their families. I don't know.
Do you know what? What is going on with that? That's a prediction that I didn't make, but can we start just getting along with our families again, like our extended families? Holy cow, everyone you talk to is estranged from their in-laws or from their parents or from a brother or a sister or an auntie or like... Anyway, I digress. Australians went on more overseas holidays in 2025 than ever before. That's what the data
We
shows.
definitely added to the data there.
Well, we did. We had that big New Zealand, my 50th birthday trip. But so I got those two things completely wrong. TikTok still exists as it was, and more Australians are holidaying overseas than ever before. Can't confirm or deny whether there's intergenerational living going on, but it seems that people are complaining a lot about the cost of living, but certainly not moving in with the in-laws to cut costs.
So there was a couple that you kind of partially got right. I still think we're going to call them wrong, but I'll give it to you, partially right or not. AI education revolution. Tell us more about that.
Okay, so I predicted that AI would explode across the education sector, that it would be used in schools and classrooms, and teachers would be all over it, and students would be all over it. And I'm saying that I kind of got this right, because every student, every high school student especially that you talk to, is using AI. They're just not telling the teachers, and they're trying to be sneaky about it. And I know from talking to a lot of teachers that they are doing everything they can to figure out ways to get AI to reduce their workloads, because teachers remain stressed and carrying huge workloads.
So can I just put a sidebar here?
Yeah.
AI has actually become my best friend.
Well, that's going to be part of one of the predictions that I got right, and we will talk about that in a second. But anyway, there is definitely growing evidence of AI literacy initiatives and debates about AI in schools. But whether 2025 was actually the inflection point I predicted, I'm not sure yet. I think that this runway's still got a fair bit to go. This runway, I'm getting my metaphors mixed up, but I think there's still a fair way to go on this one. And this year's going to be bigger for AI than last year was, is my prediction.
Well, especially now that I know about it.
Well, that's right. Okay, so I kind of partially maybe got that right, but we probably don't really have the evidence for it.
And the last one that you kind of, you think you partially got right was the year of the boy.
All right. So basically what I said was everyone's recognizing that our young men, males, even our older men, are struggling. And we've got all-party parliamentary committees around the world. We've got institutes and think tanks coming up, really focusing on the interests of boys and men, because when one gender doesn't do well, the other gender can't do well. And there's been a really, really strong emphasis for the last 30, 40, 50, 60 years on how can we bring women along. And while there's still work to do, I think that we've done a reasonable job in a lot of areas there. Like I said, still plenty of work to do. And oh my goodness, there are some challenges. But boys and men are struggling. And I predicted that that there would be a shift, that there would be a genuine shift. I think that the underlying data certainly supports my concerns. I don't think 2025 allayed them at all. We know that young men's participation in the workforce is declining. We know they're doing worse at education than they ever have. Their engagement in school, university is lower. Mental health challenges persist. NEET, NEET, not in education, employment or training, figures continue to go up for young men, much higher than they are for young women. But again, I just can't be sure about 2025 specifically being the year of the boy, specifically where I said that masculinity would start to be celebrated again. I don't think that's happening. I think that there are too many voices that are not keen on that happening. So I got it wrong. Did I get it wrong? I don't think that it went the way that I thought that it would. I think there's still room for a lot of improvement in terms of supporting young men.
What I will say is I feel like there is a much greater awareness than there's ever been, and it's a conversation that's been had more than has ever been had.
Totally agree. And we've got so many huge names out there that are really talking it up, making a lot of noise about it, and I think that's part of it. So they're the ones where I got them wrong, or there's some insufficient evidence, but I've got some good news, and I'm very excited about it.
You got a few right.
The other five, I nailed the other five. Actually, the lighthouse parenting one, I said the lighthouse parenting would be the parenting style of the year. I think it probably was, but it's not like there's overwhelming evidence for that one either. I would say insufficient data was there. Although I did do a Google Trends search, and there was more talk about lighthouse parenting on the internet last year than ever before. So definitely on the rise. And there are a bunch of sources that I found, fairly credible, major mainstream news outlet sources that said that lighthouse parenting was gaining serious momentum, surging in popularity, and becoming a response to the exhaustion of gentle parenting. I feel like I got it right.
So you did mention before that we were going to touch on the AI parenting revolution.
All right. You've discovered it. Why don't you go first, and then I'll tell you why I was right.
So I have a really bad habit of double booking or forgetting appointments.
Yeah,
I do it all the time. And I've actually lost a hairdresser over it. Like, it's been a big deal.
And when you say I lost a hairdresser, it's not like you just left.
She sacked me.
She sacked you. She said you're not welcome as a client anymore. You've missed 2 hairdressing appointments in the last 6 months. Not seeing you again.
So we invested in a Skylight.
Okay, hashtag not sponsored. They don't know who we are. They don't know that we exist. We just bought one of these things because they were online and in all the electrical outlet stores. We just bought a Skylight. If you haven't seen it, Google it. We'll link to it in the show notes. We don't get any kickbacks. We'll just tell you all. You'll find it.
And I am in love. So the one feature of all the things, I know we're talking about calendars and getting things right, but the one feature is I can take a photo using AI of all of my recipes, whether they're handwritten, typed, or in a recipe book, and it will upload the recipe to my Skylight. And then when I go into my weekly meal plan, I can ask it to auto-populate. I don't even have to make a decision about what we're eating for dinner. And then the best part of all is I literally push a button and it includes all the ingredients for that meal in my grocery list.
And then you just open the fridge and the pantry and cross off everything that we've got, and then you don't even need to give me the list because we both got the app. So then I go to the shops and I've already got a grocery list there.
It's the best thing ever. And then when you put it in the trolley, you just tick the box and it's gone.
I don't know how we've lived our lives without a Skylight. Anyway, this is not a sponsored post.
Sorry,
podcast.
It's a very big digression, but honestly has changed my world.
All right. Now that you've done the plug that you said that you had to do, I predicted that there would be an AI parenting revolution and that parents would be using
revolting.
AI everywhere. And it does seem that AI has absolutely become a mainstream parenting assistant during 2025. Parents are using them for meal planning and homework help and scripts for emotional support when their children are having a hard time, and birthday party planning and co-parenting. And everybody's openly discussing how they're co-parenting with ChatGPT or Claude or Skylight or whatever AI that they're using. ABC's Good Morning America did major segments on the trend, as did all of Australia's major news outlets at one point or another. And because this is such a big deal and the kids are using it so much, OpenAI has even introduced parental controls over the last 6 months because this thing is mega. It's massive. It was kind of it was a free shot, really. Like, I couldn't miss that one. But it has, I was right. That's all I'm saying. I was right.
What about the homeschooling surge that you predicted?
Massively validated. Australian homeschooling has increased by 92% nationally since 2020. Queensland's experienced a staggering 163% increase in homeschooling. I found this on the Today Show.
Well, homeschooling has soared across Australia, with numbers more than quadrupling over the past decade in New South Wales alone.
So it's been all over the news. It's been everywhere. Bullying, school refusal, anxiety, concerns about school policies, concerns about the curriculum, neurodiversity. They're all confirmed as primary drivers. Got it right.
So one of the big predictions you made was in relation to the social media ban and specifically this digital detox movement that we are striving for as parents for our children.
Yep.
How did that go?
Well, I was 100% correct. Australia ended up leading a global revolution by implementing the world first under 16 social media minimum age legislation. Came into effect on December 10, 2025. I was invited to Kirribilli with the Prime Minister and a whole lot of other people who were very, very interested in making sure that this worked. And I'm really, really delighted that the government did it. However, there's a whole lot of countries that are watching very closely to see what works and what doesn't. And right now it's had a pretty bumpy landing. It's not going nearly as well as I had hoped, and certainly not nearly as well as predicted. And I'm going to talk about that with my 2026 predictions in a minute. But we know that France are looking at it, Malaysia's looking at it, New Zealand's looking at it, and a bunch of others considering similar measures. It's necessary, it's important, but the rollout's problematic. That was my next prediction that I got right. And there was one more that I nailed as well, hun.
What was that one?
YouTube. I said that YouTube would continue to dominate. I don't care what other platforms are out there. No one and nothing comes close to YouTube. YouTube maintained its position as the number one streaming platform in 2025. It accounted for 9.7% of all US TV viewership. Netflix only reaches 7.6.
Wow.
And that's only the US. I can't get Australian data and worldwide data. It's really hard to find all the right information, but it's more popular than everything. And it has 2.7 billion monthly active users. So YouTube is going to continue to be the one to watch. And the organization that owns YouTube is the same organization that owns Google. It's called Alphabet. And my 2026 prediction is that they are going to continue to absolutely smash it as AI booms. Anyway, I got 5 out of 8. I'm pretty happy with that. I thought that was, I feel like that means that I know my stuff.
Is that why we've gone down to 4 this time?
Well,
less to get wrong?
No, it's
because
by the time you do the review and then you do the predictions, it ends up being a very long podcast. One of my New Year's resolutions is to get this podcast back to about 10 or 12 minutes. What do you think we're up to?
Have we hit 15?
We've gone past it.
I can't believe you put it on the podcast, publicly announced.
I'm so sorry. Pretty much by a couple of minutes. So
and it's our first podcast.
Oh, no.
Seriously.
That's why we don't set New Year's resolutions. Actually, we've set some. We have. We're going to talk about that on Friday. Here's what we're going to do, because we've already gone well over time, and I do want to honour people. So, like, seriously, if you're dropping the kids off and you want to get the parenting inspo that you're looking for, you don't need us to waffle on for 25 minutes, which we all too often do, because we love talking to each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop the pod now. And tomorrow, instead of doing what we were going to do, tomorrow we'll do my 4 predictions. We can easily do that in 12 minutes.
You reckon?
Oh, no. Oh, by the way, that doesn't include ad time, right? Like when our sponsors put their ads in, that doesn't include, it's us. So that's it. We're going to wrap it up there. My predictions, I'm pretty happy with that. I feel a little bit expertish when I get my predictions right.
Can I do a prediction?
Yeah.
I predict that...
Oh, hang on. No, that's tomorrow. You got to save it for tomorrow. No, do it now. Do it now. We need one prediction. Go for it.
I predict that we won't get it down to 12 ever.
We have to. Oh, my goodness. Hey,
you talk way too much.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, my goodness. We're going to stop now. Okay, the podcast...
We're at 23 already?
No, the podcast will be back tomorrow, though, and we can't wait to share with you my predictions for 2026 in the world of parenting and tech and everything that applies to your children and how you're raising your family. So that's tomorrow on the pod. Thanks so much for listening today. Thanks for joining us for another year on the Happy Families podcast, which, as always, continues to be produced by the wonderful JR, who takes care of so much good stuff for us. We also receive additional assistance, support, and admin and so on from Mim Hammond. And if you'd like more info about making your family happier, check us out at happyfamilies.com.au.